well, we've actually seen Scream switch up, I believe, as well. If we're kicking things
Phoenix
off on Ascent, there's going to be his Phoenix gone, which, I'm going to be honest, that's really sad. I love Scream's Phoenix, especially the way that he uses the Blaze Walls. So what does excite me, though, is how he's going to actually opt to utilize Sage. Like, the aggressive, deeper walls maybe going to come in a little bit here, but I feel like I'm sort of being around the bush when we have a Yoru pick.
That's it. That's all I care about. You know, it's like, yeah, Scream is great off the Phoenix. I don't care. Normally I would, but GTN, I'm just looking at him. I'm staring at this guy. I want to know exactly what he does every step of the way. Matter of fact, we should have a second stream just of his POV, just for this game. This is going to be exciting to see what they've got up their sleeve. I said maybe, you know, we've only seen one map at Masters out of them. Maybe they've got something up their sleeve. Well, I think it's fair to say they've pulled out a secret card. Let's see what that can do. The pistol round's already live, and we're seeing Team Liquid on the defensive side grouping up in towards the tree, and it looks like they're going to have a little bit of a fight on their hands straight away as FR's Zed falls, but the Yoru wins the opening duel to trade it back.
Yeah, I don't think the fact that he was Yoru made any difference here, Mitch. I know you really want to highlight the fact that he's playing Yoru, but it didn't actually change anything in that battle. We also have sutecas actually moving over to an Astra as well, which is something he's done on a couple of other maps, but we're yet to really see it done on Ascent for them. So again, this is a big change for Vikings. I think also just the manner in which we've seen Team Liquid lose, maybe bringing that in could actually make a pretty big difference, because we haven't seen them use Astra much, if at all. For now, though, Link, again, the man who's so solid, seems to be fantastic at just finding multi-frags. Not today, though. He's already shut out of the round.
Jamppi's getting spammed at. The door's about to be closed, but there it is. The recon, the info they were waiting for, catches off the Killjoy, shutting him down. Now they're a little bit more comfortable to play for the retake, and even more so as GTN plays a dangerous game, spamming a frenzy through the smoke, but they can see those tracers. They knew that he was there and took him down right away. This has just become a very awkward situation for Vikings. A great opening to the site, and well, not a great ending to the round as Jamppi picks up a 4K. This is huge impact, Tom, because now with the defuse, he's got his blade. Well, if he took it, he'd have his blade storm online for the next round.
He doesn't even need it. He doesn't even want it. They're actually going to put that one extra orb over to Kryptix instead. I guess you do have the sort of bonus round for them anyway, although there was a plant, so maybe Vikings invest a little bit more, but there's going to be a chance for Jamppi to farm up some extra points anyway here, so I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. But well, although it pains me, after Veli might be one of the most obnoxious North American supporters ever, he did highlight Jamppi in the pre-show. Like, he was saying that, you know what, this is the guy that needs to step up. This is the guy that has to be a focus. And he's done pretty well in the pistol round. 4 kills coming up for him. And I think this is a map especially that suits him incredibly well. Like, if he gets rolling, it can be very dangerous. At the same time, I definitely think there's players for Vikings who fit within their bracket. In fact, there's a multitude of players that could just take over this game. And the fact that FRZ has actually switched up to the Jet, I almost wonder if he's directly trying to fight Jamppi on this stage.
We'll see how things go down actually with this Jamppi buy, because he's bought obviously the Judge, which we've seen a couple of times, it's fair to say, have a decent impact. And he's playing that towards A main. Now, he has the option to go and get an ult orb later on in the round. If they do tend towards the B site, he can potentially get a kill up close and have his ult on for the bonus round in the next. Like, there's a lot here in the early stages. Just that pistol round allowing so many kills to come in for Jamppi that could come back to bite Vikings. For now, though, it looks like they're going to be facing him right here and now. That Judge about to be put to the test as they all group up outside of A main.
Keeping my eye on that TP that's available still for GTN. He could make a very quick rotation back into mid if he wanted to. Instead, Jamppi! What? Okay, that's 9 kills in 2 rounds. He's just aced it. And I guess we have to technically call that a Prime Gaming flawless, but you know what? He just wrecked everybody on his own. Does it not have his own separate name?
That was disgusting, man. The fact that he ignores the turret to go out for that duel, absolutely every part of that was beautifully played. Jamppi now 9 for 0, ultimate online. And so this Judge, it obviously still has a lot of power, but he can just pop that Blade Storm and look to actually basically have a rifle or a sniper, depending on how you want to look at it, when those headshots come in on range. That's a lot of diversity and versatility for this player to have in a round where Team Liquid shouldn't really be able to do much. This bonus round is going to be tough for Vikings.
Already faking things out a little bit over onto B, trying to maybe bait a rotation or two. And there are currently 3 players there ready and waiting for Liquid, but after nothing really being spotted for a while, they're more than happy to leave Kryptix in this solo anchor role. Now, something Vikings have been incredibly good at is selling these fakes, these late rotations, the mid-round calls coming in from Saadhak as well. And with the double shot dart landing, not too much damage being done for now, but it's an incredible read coming out from Liquid. They are ready for this.
Oh, 100%. Jamppi wants to get up here, but that flash, it actually pushes him back. Screen falls. Okay, that's a great start. Here's the ultimate pop to get the information. Jamppi pops his Blade Storm, but gets nothing bar the 1 kill. Oh, okay, Link. Sneaky beaky down below. soulcas going to emerge from the smoke and catch them completely by surprise. It comes down to a 1v1, a bonus round for Liquid 1, where they don't stand to do too much damage. Vikings hope to just build up that economy and put themselves in a good position, but instead they end up with 15 seconds and 0 information. The spike needing to be planted, and it will be stuck. Kryptix sneaks out of heaven in the meantime and knows that player has to be up close or still behind that generator. Sacy gets a good position underneath now. The steps not really going to be masked. Sacy knows exactly where he is, and that will be the round converted for Vikings, but it comes with a pretty heavy cost.
Yeah, as said, like the initial read that came out from Liquid was the difference maker. They really didn't fall for any of the bait that was being thrown down by Vikings. And wow, this Blade Storm definitely could have done a little bit more. It was mostly off the back of soulcas here. But of course, this beautiful board man. I've seen the wonderful spams that I don't even think it's just the Brazilian fans doing it anymore. I think it's just everyone. Everyone has adopted the board spam coming out. And I have to say, as a board man myself, I'm enjoying it, you know?
Getting a little bit of representation for yourself. I appreciate that, Tom. Honestly, I was fully expecting a comment about Snow White and the 7 Dwarves or something like that. Like when I watched that movie, but no, you left it alone, Tom. I appreciate that.
Why have you just self-burned yourself? I don't understand.
Getting ahead of this. Getting ahead of the curve. I know it's coming eventually.
Why?
To throw it out there, we're good to go. But hey, you know who else is good to go? Team Vikings. They want to go onto the B side. They want to push into Killjoy utility. They don't have any info, but they don't have any map control. That's the most important thing. And so committing towards this is almost essential at this point. Liquid could be up behind them. You're going to pop a Hunter's Fury right off the bat. Scream catches the first, the second, and almost a third, tickling up Saadhak down to just 20 HP. They get no progress for it, barely managing to make it out of the choke point and losing so many players along the way. Team Liquid now reinforcing this B site, but Saadhak isn't letting this one go. A shock dart kill onto Kryptix bridges the gap even further, but do they know that Link has snuck on? They might not care. Because these players, they're set up to potentially contest in towards spawn, where Jamppi is currently waiting for the smoke to fade. 10 seconds remaining. Jamppi makes it away and even catches a kill on his way. Link tucked in, undetected, able to close out that round. And Liquid, they put up a convincing answer back. After a close bonus round, it's 3-1.
Yeah, I think the problem at the moment is that it's just becoming too easy for Liquid to actually work out where they're going in a lot of these early rounds. Like, the rotation is pretty much all the way through. You can see the aggression that came through from Jamppi as well. He's basically just taking early A main control to just go, okay, well, there's no one on A. You guys can just start rotating. And one thing I will always give credit to Kryptix to is he's very good at delaying a lot of the players coming in onto the site. So, again, almost pushing directly into a stack for Vikings. It's definitely not started the way they were hoping for. And now we go back to more of what I would call a default round for them. They're a team that loves to challenge for mid control, loves these faster plays through the link in the middle.
Here.
For now, they're just trying to spot if anybody is taking this aggressive control from Liquid, but they're going to know that this round Mitch is a much smaller investment. So they're playing very, very far back. Other than Jamppi, of course, but I don't think he really counts.
I like the reaction from Liquid in using the paranoia and pizza. Then they know on the contact of the turret that those players have actually fallen back, and they further confirm it with the drone down middle. The fact that Jamppi can play so aggressive on this corner because he can dash back is huge, but the shot is still missed. What Vikings don't know, though, is just 4 players on A. Their play is so slow, and Liquid are predicting it with the info they're gathering in the early stages of the round, running into this, but still getting a couple of kills under their belt. A good first start to the attack, but, well, it does kind of fade away a little bit. With Sacy down on 3 HP, his impact should be pretty low. Considering they had pistols, I think it's already been a pretty good round. If Sacy gets one more kill, he'll be feeling very, very happy about his impact. But yeah, that was pretty unlikely.
Yeah. If he managed to get one more kill there, I think we'd start to ask questions of what Liquid were doing. So 2 kills for them, as you said, not really bad. And while Jamppi really is off to a flying start, 12 and 2 wasn't really needed too much in this round. And you can even see the sort of gate crash into the site being attempted. I do like the ideas of what comes with Yoru. I think especially if you do see the operator picked up, it has quite a cool way to play a rotational op around the map with very quick switches. So I think on the defense, that could definitely be something interesting for GTN. Also, the dimensional drift is just one of the most annoying abilities, but hello. We spoke about operator play. We spoke about Jamppi. We definitely did not speak about Scream.
Well, we didn't expect him to be on the Phoenix, but even on the Sage, I don't know that I'm expecting this kind of play to come in. A beautiful wall used, but nothing found off. Hey, that means maybe it can have some impact in later rounds. Vikings, they're looking towards the A side, but what I'm noticing again and again, Tom, is that these pushes, they're very one-dimensional. There's no other map control. There's no fakes. It is, oh, we want to go A, let's go A. And a lot of the time, Liquid see this very, very early on. This time, perhaps it's being sold as a bit of a fake. They're taking a long time. Liquid have 4-man rotated into side already. There's an ult clearing it out. GTN is seeing that it's free, but they should know there's players in heaven. They will full commit to this, but Liquid are just poised to launch themselves back into here. The lockdown comes into effect, and it looks like that's going to push them back. Nothing coming in to deal with it, no players swinging, and so they do get the site for free, even with the stack that was there.
This is the best opportunity we've seen from Vikings since the round that they managed to win. They're going to isolate soulcas as well. Very proactive in their afterplant positions, being able to take control of middle and making this retake really, really difficult now for Liquid, because getting back in and reclaiming short in the amount of time that's left, I'm not sure how that's going to be possible, and I almost wonder if it gets to the point they might just have to fall out of this round.
It looks like they're already making that call, Tom. You can see a heavy wave of blue coming towards the B side of the map. They are leaving this one alone. From what was 4 players from Liquid being in heaven before Vikings even stepped foot out of A main, a round win without a single player lost for Vikings. That is a very quick turn of events and a very solid game or round out of Vikings.
Yeah, this is one, though, where I almost feel like it has to be a springboard, because you've seen Vikings get themselves around, but it's off the back of 2 very, very powerful ultimates. The dimensional drift basically giving you all the info on the entirety of the site, and then, of course, the lockdown forcing all of the players off it. Sure, the re-aggression in the afterplant, very well played, getting yourself that extra control and not really giving Liquid a chance. But that's not something you can now recreate in this round because you don't have those ultimates anymore.
Exactly. Like, this is where, as you said, the springboard needs to come in. I actually really like this divide. We'll talk about that a little bit later, perhaps, because straight away there's going to be a push in towards Pizza, and Scream's wall has now been revealed, getting nothing for his trouble. The players in spawn not to be worried about with the wall up. And as FZ gets onto the side, that's an awkward fight. Luckily, a trade is found immediately, and a smoke down to cover the Cosmic Divide's dissipation. This will be a plant, as well as a man advantage. There's a retake. It's going to be tough for Team Liquid again. They need to find something to propel them into this, or it will just be another save.
Again, keeping that B lobby control is just going to make this retake very, very unlikely, especially with the man disadvantage. And this is basically what we know Vikings best for, this complete change of pace. Off the back of the ultimate again, just to make sure that rotations into the site are going to be very difficult and that they can't be spammed from the defender's spawn. And now they're actually looking to go hunting, clear out some of these remaining players. Sutecas eventually will fall, but hey, they've got themselves up to a third round. They're dropping some of those weapons for Liquid and basically trying to make some of those rebuys a little bit more difficult. And Link, he does actually manage to sneak back in, so he's going to claim the operator back. I will say, I like the idea. Like, we've seen that wall utilized a few times. I think it was Ethan, like 100 Thieves, were using that once or twice to boost over and try and stop players pushing into mid. So far, the Scream operator hasn't really been going great. I would quite like to see Jamppi use it.
Yeah, at the same time, I think opportunity-wise, like, they're very much, or they were very much hoping for the peak coming out of top mid, and it didn't.
Yes.
You know, they haven't been given that opportunity. The players get up close. You're in hot water. But now that that wall's being revealed, it's like your trick isn't really going to work. They're going to be ready for that angle if they do peek it. And so you can see they're going back to what has been working before, into the bread and butter of Jamppi with the operator, playing aggressive inside of A main so they can focus in towards holding short. Again, the interesting thing about Liquid is that they're playing nobody in mid. They are very light on information around there. They can only spot them when they come up through Pizza, because obviously they have the turret there to play off the contact. It's an interesting use of utility to negate a part of the map, but it also means your rotates are super slow. But enough about that, because Jamppi's swinging on corners and taking kills. And again, that's exactly what we talk about when we speak about Jett and how dangerous she is in taking those early fights. You want your Jett to be going forward and looking to take those duels on the defender side, on the attack, entering in and getting traded out. And that's why, because she can just dash, and it completely breaks the core mechanics of spacing and trading. She just can't when they're not there anymore.
Yeah, there is a reason the operator is what 90% of the time played on the Jett. It gives you that escape route. Now they are going to switch things back over to this B site once again. It's where all of that Killjoy utility currently lies. It's in the same place almost every round. It is something that Kryptix basically loves to do. Just deny them that left-hand side, force them to try and rotate through, and he even has a teammate to support him this time.
And he does. They're going to be barreling onto this side, on the side of Vikings, looking for these duels, but soulcas, he's the first to take a fight, and he goes doubles and triples down on it. That might be it for Vikings. The time is way too low, and well, Sacy ain't gonna do too much there. Well played round by Liquid, and soulcas in particular, just tucked in that corner. And I love they take the first fight onto the player on Boathouse, who's just a screaming distraction for soulcas to swing out and catch them off guard.
Of course, the Prime Gaming Flawless coming out again, another solid round, and this is the thing, like, I feel like it's getting to the stage where Vikings, especially in their slower rounds, are almost being forced into the exact positions that Liquid want them. Like, they're getting the reads, they're getting those aggressive picks. I think Jamppi's been a huge factor in these early rounds, and seeing him have that operator once again is always going to be big. I really want to see them try and deny this A main control, though. The fact that Liquid have been able to take this almost for free in most rounds is starting to get a little bit worrying for me. That's control you can't just allow the defenders to have in every round.
You see Yoru put his TP down outside the A site, go for a little bit of a push-up on B, TP across. Grants you a little bit of extra map control, but when you have a Jett there, obviously in this round didn't serve any impact, but I think the idea was to potentially get a fight out of it, like we've seen from Liquid, maybe pushing into B main. But these guys are playing so passive around that Killjoy utility on B, and this grants them, again, 3 players towards the A site, with Sova even flexing towards the spawn area this time, covering mid on some jump spots and clearances. And that faster rotation could really hurt Vikings if they do commit to this A site, and it looks like they're going to.
Again, it's looking like we're going to see the gate crash put through into the site instead of a TP. It gives you that extra entry. Scream already looking to spam, but he's got a little bit of support here. Trade back and forth, though. Saadhak keeping things even. Link, again, he always seems to be good for 2, but he runs out of bullets and falls. Sutecas will close out another. They've managed to garner the site. 20 seconds for them to get the spike down, and nothing that can be denied for now. Although, actually, Liquid, they're going to give it a go. They're pushing before it's actually down.
Yeah, they're trying to make the clock the biggest enemy, but unfortunately, bullets come back their way to take them down. Nicely handled by Vikings. The Yoru use to the backside, it doesn't do a lot, but it's not useless, right? You see it there. GTN gets taken down, but in this instance, I think he's playing more... It's like doubling down on your Jett. So yeah, typically your Jett goes into sight, dashes and dies, right? But you trade them out. That's why you'll see Jets, when they're not playing operators, end up with worse opening duels. But here, we have it done with a Jet and with a Yoru to really just throw the chaos at your opponents, and they did trade back and they won the round.
Okay, we've got a second adaptation of the boost. This time, no operator in the hands of Scream. And it seems like I almost wonder if a lot of what they came up with here to bring this into play was just to try and utilize some of these boosts to battle for middle. Because as I said, that's something the Vikings love to do. Like, they love this mid control, they love this mid split. So if Scream can somehow brawl and battle with them and deny them that space, that would be fantastic. Unfortunately, thus far, not really been going fantastic.
No, not really. I think defensive side, where Liquid are at right now, is perfectly healthy, but the exact same for Vikings. This half is still very much to be determined. Coming into this bye round, this could be where it's finally decided. The ultimate used to clear out that space, a bit of a showstopper without the boom to it. He's going to be on the back side now, ready to take a fight. Scream, the first to open things up, and GTN forced out the lockdown, pulling them back in towards main. He's going to use his TP to safely cross, but in the meantime, his teammates are falling like flies. Jamppi still with the dash online, free for a kill. Dash still up, which gives him the confidence to go out for more. GTN left alone. And a 1 versus 4, doesn't have the spike, and there's less than 20 seconds on the clock. This one is lost. It's already gone Liquid's way, putting 6 on the board, and this is quite scary now for Vikings. They don't want Liquid to run away with this in the later stages of the half.
Yeah, this definitely looks like Liquid are very well prepared for all of these sort of like mid-round rotations that Vikings love to do. Like, they're more than happy to play that clock incredibly low and get down to like the last 10-15 seconds when they go for a plant. So they just left Jamppi on the other side of the map, even with all the commitment that came in, the dimensional drift thrown in onto the B site. They just completely ignored it and just left Jamppi behind while the other players rotated. And luckily, he's performing to a standard now that that's enough in most of these rounds. That's fine. You can leave him on his own.
That got me for some reason. Spike down mid. Sounds beautiful. Now, obviously, we saw that rifle in the latter stages attempting to be saved over, but it looks like GTN did get dropped towards the end of it, because after a 3,900 investment on one player, they only have the one rifle now. That is, unless it's on the floor somewhere, but I'm fairly confident that they've ended up losing it. If that's the case, that's very bad. Oh, in fact, he has 1 ult orb, so I guess he could have gotten a kill and went down. We'll see. Overall, though, the reason I'm saying that Team Liquid can just run away with this, or could potentially, they now have that 6-4 guaranteed like tie on the half, but facing into what should be an eco here from Vikings, that gives them 7, potential to push it up to 8, and at that stage, what has been a very, very tight half to start it out with, and in terms of buy rounds, pretty much neck and neck, will give Liquid a heavy leg up if they manage to get up to that 8-round finish.
The one thing I'm curious about, though, is like, obviously there's plenty of things that you can utilize Scream Sage for going into the attack side. Like, you can get yourself better defensive positions once you take the site. One of the things I feel like they struggled with a little bit more was that they were being spammed a lot as they attempted to entry into the A site. And one of the things that they always did very, very well was use that blaze to give them that extra control, and then you would have Scream flashing through it, and a lot of the time getting you opening kills. So although I agree, I think that like on the defense, this is not a bad half whatsoever. I'm intrigued to see how their attack will now have changed without that extra duelist they normally play.
We see here the weapons are not going to be too healthy. Obviously, sutecas has fully bought up, but nobody else really able to, with GTN not saving the weapon in the previous, as we can see now.
Oh, Bulldog?
This is going to be a tough one. There's a Bulldog. There's a Stinger. They're just investing as much as they can, but they're able to fully buy in the next round. They made sure that got the calculators out during the tactical pause. Now, Liquid have shifted things up during this tac pause. Instead of it being an A play with the op, it's towards B, and GTN perfectly times that peek from the right side. Jamppi blindsided. An opening duel goes Vikings' way, but more important than that, they've got an op online.
Yeah, they were actually just playing to get that ult orb in general. It gives the Blade Storm over to FRZ, so that was going to be his weapon for the round. That's why he didn't buy anything. Instead, he now has an operator to go alongside it as well. So they've had a real bonus coming into this site. Nice shot from Scream, though. Will already drop one. That operator hits the deck, but they are going to get into an afterplant. And sure, weaponry's not perfect, but it's workable.
Especially with the Sage res, right? If somebody peeks and goes down, they can get them right back up, and I think that's the intention. It's why Sage switches up to come through market, a safer position to res from as they start to rush on out, open up that extra space. But Sutecas, he's here. That rifle that was invested into now stands alone. The one player fighting to keep Vikings in this for 5 rounds. He's swinging out, but, well, there was nothing he could do. The time was so low as Kryptix was on the defuse, and Link sneakily head peeking the angle shuts him out. Still, all things considered, very weak buy by Vikings, and they come out on top. They come out with a lot of damage done, rather, and a plant. The sad thing is that they did invest a lot in terms of the utility, especially when it comes to lockdown. I mean, on this map, that is such a powerful ulti.
Yeah, they also used the Blade Storm as well, which, okay, I will say that was initially the plan, but if you put that much into a round, it doesn't come out as a victory. They now need to do something with this next one, because I feel like going into the next half, like, sure, I think they're a very proactive team. I think they're going to look to battle much more for map control when it comes to their defensive side. It's something I think they're pretty much known for. But only leaving yourselves with 4 rounds, I think that's going to be pretty difficult.
No dash for FRZ, so we can't really go through that. Nano Swarm flash comes in, but now he's being spotted and taken down easily. Paranoia to cover the retreat. Hunter's Fury going to be popped out here, and when you look at Team Liquid rushing in towards this site, they've already got 3 players here to defend it, although quickly changing direction. It looks like they think already Vikings are going to rotate back and play for the B side, and they might just be right. You can see Vikings starting to move back away. The wall and the smokes that were in play made them not really want to go A, and so this read, this early switch up of positions from Liquid, especially getting Jamppi into position on B, could pay off hugely as Vikings slow down their attack.
And they're also going to bring back that Killjoy as well, and just look to try and push into this A site, hoping that some sort of rotations come in, but no one's moved. Again, I said, they're happy to leave Jamppi alone. They're happy to leave him to battle. And now pushing into what is a 3-man stack with a 4th able to rotate in. This is going to be tough for Vikings.
Oh man, especially because GTN doesn't have any flashes left. He's in trouble as he goes out, and they are just walking into a firing squad. But with so little time left and the utility they had committed to it, they had to go. 8-4 at the half. The scoreline that we feared now puts Team Liquid in a very advantageous spot. And really, when you think about how this half played out, Vikings have been very impressive. It's funny to say that when you've got 4 rounds on the board, but when it comes to buy rounds, they did quite well. I think they lost 1 more overall. Then when you look at the eco that they had, that they very nearly won, that could have turned the tides of it. Plus, they lost the pistol round and the follow-up. So considering the lead that Team Liquid had at 3-1, I think they've done all right for themselves. The problem is, in the grand scheme of things, especially if they lose this pistol and the follow, they will be in hot water.
Yeah, I think especially as well, picking into a map that we know Liquid are incredibly strong on, this definitely puts them on the back foot, because there are no slouches on this attack side. As said, it's different to what we normally see played. There is no Scream Phoenix, which I think is a huge part of their attack side.
Definitely.
So I'm interested to see how they will adapt to that. We're already going to see the gravity well looking to hold them back. A little bit surprised there wasn't some sort of additional utility, like maybe a shock dart or something. He doesn't have any left, but might have been a slightly better combo or something mistimed, potentially. They do, however, get a lot of information about Jamppi being there, and the fact that the rest of the team are actually rotating back. With the aggressive position, Mitch, of sutecas, he's going to spot this fairly early.
Yeah, that information is going to be found right away. That is, if Team Liquid decide to push up towards it, and they are. There was a little bit of a mid-split for a second, but here they come. The star placed down. Sutecas has a lot to do on this one. It's going to see the feed as they come around the corner. The first kill goes his way. Left on 44 on the retreat, but hey, you'll take those man advantages whenever you can get them. The wall up gives the headshot angle and very nearly gives a pick towards Team Liquid. Kryptix Be taking down FRZ as they close in on the site. Another goes their way. The player under heaven now caught and isolated. Link, the one to connect the shot to close that out. Oh, and another headshot found for him. He's so low, but using the head peek angle down below puts him in a great position. Team Liquid now just looking to hold on and run down the clock. Kryptix and Link both low, but there's only saadhak left to deal with, and the trades are quick and fast. 9-4. This is devastating, really, for Vikings. Having lost that pistol round now, Team Liquid get another leg up into the half.
Yeah, I never like to be the person to sort of like highlight an individual player, but they've gone for an interesting pick. They've gone for an agent we don't see too much, and specifically really don't see too much on Ascent. And as of right now, GTN has 2 kills. Now, he's normally the person that you'll see like picking up that Phoenix or maybe a Raze on a lot of maps, and you're expecting him to be right near the top of that board. So the fact that he's having a rough one is definitely one of the difference makers. And this man, on the other hand, is absolutely dominating. Jamppi looking to pick up those eco frags once again. We know that we saw him get the ace last time, and I'd be surprised if he's not trying to double down.
Hey, get that Blade Storm up as quick as you can. Why not? Can be the real difference maker when it comes down to playing the bonus rounds, and he's only 1 off what he did in the round 2 of half 1. Not too bad. With 2 opponents left to deal with, and Vikings, they're already considering playing this one slow for exits and probably diving into that spike as it explodes, although we'll have a bit of contention from GTN. You know, I'm not impressed by the Yoru, I have to say. And it's not GTN's performance. Again, the way he's playing Yoru, I don't expect him to have nearly the impact that he normally does when it comes to playing, what is it, a Raze normally? Like, Raze brings so much more value, in my opinion. And certainly with how Vikings normally play it, compared to how it's going here, they're doing a lot of damage on this exit. I saw the first kill. I was happy to let that one go, but at the point where they leave Liquid with 2... Okay, soulcas barely made it out. With 2 players just about. That's a very good round, you know? It was a 2v5. It looked like Jamppi was about to farm up his ultimate, and instead, they very nearly lose all their weapons.
Yeah, it's one of those spots where it can kind of be a gift and a curse, though. It really does depend how much Liquid actually put into this round, and the answer is a lot. So instead of facing off against what is normally a free round, maybe a round to get you a little bit of momentum versus some SMGs, they're coming in with 3 rifles. So it's a gift if you win this round. You're probably going to get an extra bonus, and hey, you know what? That's a gift as well. Jamppi goes diving through the one-way, and sutecas does very well there to actually come away with 2 kills.
Again, the idea, fantastic. They go up to try and push these players off the control so they can get the ult orb, get Jamppi his ult, and he can just go for fights. Instead, he dies. So, hey, he's got his ult online. But these rifles, they are just going to dominate these fights. FRZ and Sacy, quick to almost close this out. It's just Link, and although he's been a god in clutches previously, this time it just ain't gonna happen. 10-5, Vikings, they've picked up the buy round. And considering the damage they did previously to Liquid, they've set themselves up to potentially connect another.
Yeah, you can definitely see what they were trying to do, but with sutecas on the other side, he's going to shut things down, and a good turnaround, and one that's needed. Because I said, like, going into the next round now, financially, this is not going to be an excellent spot for Liquid. They lost a lot of players on the exit a couple of rounds ago, and by the looks of it, they'll just put a few extra pieces in. Blade Storm for Jamppi, though. And although I don't expect a massive amount from this round, he alone could take over it.
I mean, that's a given for any round. From what we've seen. In this tournament, at least. Team Liquid definitely looking towards that A site with favor, and oh, this is going to be dirty. We need to see Jamppi for this one. They're going to be wall boosting up drafting above, and looking to take some serious kills towards the back of the site. There's going to be some players very frustrated if this lands, and well, they've spotted him now. They know to just tuck away. A brave attempt. I love seeing that, but it ain't going to be happening. And soulcas, he fires the arrow through, but they trace it back. They see where he is, and that Guardian now very low on HP.
Give it to Scream. Give it to Scream. Let the headshot machine have a go with that one. But, you know, soulcas bought it. He's going to get the heals back up. And they're looking to reposition here. 35 seconds on the clock. A hell of a lot they're still doing this round and, well, not quite destroying the recon as quickly as they might have liked. They're actually going to go back. They are, but...
Oh, free kill.
The fact
free
is
kill
there's still going to be 2 players here.
It's so free. Look at that. Gun is insane. I like this as well. Okay, TP up above, so it's going to allow the cross into heaven, but there's the cloud burst to cross over. The ultimate looking for the frags, but Jamppi really not hitting them this round. I'll tell you who is, though. Sutecas, last 2, he's been impressive, shutting down the A push here and dealing with the aggression on A long in the previous. That is 6 on the board for Vikings, and if they win the next buy round, they're going to be in a really good spot to make this comeback happen.
Yeah, coming through with the Prime Gaming Flawless once again. These are the sort of rounds that not only build your confidence, but they build the bank. So they're going to have plenty of credits, potential to maybe bring an operator in with that jet coming through. It's the possibility, but for now, not really something they need to invest into. And Liquid, they're going to want to try and get back on the board as quickly as possible. As said, like, I think that the change in their comp definitely benefited their defensive side, able to lock off some portions of the map, slow down some of the pushes, and we even saw the time being a big factor in some of the rounds. On the attack, I'm still not convinced just yet.
I'm with you there, Tom. I'm with you. But, hey, you know, we can look at games where Jets and Rays don't deal the impact we're used to. You know, we can't discount it immediately, but I'm with you. Scream, I like this. We're going to wall it up. We're going to look up, and we're going to fall off. So that's not quite gone according to plan. Nonetheless, pushing out towards the site. There's going to be a TP up behind, but nobody checks the alleyway. Saadhak able to grab himself a double, and now lock down that site. FRZ comes through the smoke to provide support, and that is a clear win for Vikings. Dominantly done, and Liquid, they even invest the lockdown here, man, and they get nothing.
Yeah, that looked like they should have just been able to clear them easily off the site, but maybe a slip up here and there coming out from Liquid, not clearing things properly, and wow, Saadhak just able to thrive as they actually get into the back of the site. So it looks like the Brazilians are now starting to have a real resurgence, and if I've learned anything about Brazilian esports, the second they get rolling, they can be very, very difficult to stop. The passion of the Brazilian scene is something we've seen many a time. Now, again, it's just going to be some pistols into this round. Not really much to be invested either ultimate-wise for Liquid. You do have the res available. Maybe if they get things a little bit more costly into the round. And I know Mitch is going to be happy. He's seeing a Sova purchasing up an Odin. That can only mean one thing on the B side.
We know exactly what it means. We love to see it. For Vikings, they're going to be very happy as well because they're coming off the back of a flawless and a close to flawless round. Their credits are starting to really pile up. They're closing the distance on Team Liquid now, putting it 10-7 and probably 10-8 if you just look at that buy from Liquid. I mean, especially if they manage to get out of this one relatively clean, they're going to be in such a good spot. Now look at Vikings' defensive setup. Okay, he's already done it, but we had Yoru looking for mid control, but also having his TP up towards heaven so we can quickly rotate in if they do get pressured. And pressured, they will get. Jamppi on his way through. Oh, FRZ, he got caught on the wall by accident, but still gets the kill. That is nasty. Another player fallen, and the site potentially overrun. Liquid now have 4 players online with that res. You'd be forgiven if you thought Link was out, but he's actually on 5 HP, just barely holding on to life. And a potential heal could come through pretty soon. This is dangerous for Vikings. They're going to use that Killjoy ultimate to try and push them back, and it looks like it will be successful. Everybody bailing out towards long and short. The Odin picking up a kill. Scream returns another, and Kryptix is in. They've now got a crossfire on this. They can swing from 2 different angles. We've seen this one before, just the other day by V1, but not this time around. Scream is able to close it 11 on the board for Liquid, and well, everything I set up about Vikings being happy with where they were at kind of goes out the window with that round loss.
Yeah, let's be real. He shouldn't have needed to have to pull off an Effie's there, but yeah, I feel like this was just a round almost full of whiffs on the side. Like, sure, some tasty shots from Scream. It's always going to happen if you win a round with pistols, but like some of the battles coming in, especially through short, looked like they were ones that should have been a little bit more convincing for Vikings. So maybe some nerves slipping in, but whatever it is, they need to quell it quickly. And Jamppi's got the counter Odin. Anything you can do, he can do better. Oh, that has got to be so tilting for Sacy. They've even got FRZ set up in a little bit of a aggressive spot. He's going to get... Okay, I rate it. It tries to stick around, and now he's getting wallbanged as well.
Don't do it to him.
He's like, I don't want it anymore. I'm done. That's me done.
Get out the Hunter's Fury. It's going to tickle you up as well. And very nearly FRZ. He plays hopscotch with it and just about gets above it. He'll be alive a little bit longer. Tagged up, but with an op in hand and a dash still to play with. That's very powerful. Now we see the benefit of the rotation that you can play with that orb in play. I'm noticing he has his ult as well. So he could probably run in to get information, but they're actually already giving it away. In come the recons, the paranoias, everything, and GTN, oh my word! He gets away with a double, and FRZ dashes to safety. A plant now to come through as Team Liquid get the site, but it is still a 3v3 as Vikings will gear up for a retake.
Yeah, the Cosmic Divide at least giving them a little bit of an opportunity to clear out some of the closer spots, but it will dissipate. It has held the remaining players of Liquid in towards the site, so chance to maybe isolate the jewels. They've tried to use the gravity well to pull some of the players out of position, but Liquid are not budging. Well, I say that, Jamppi's actually going to go pushing. He's had enough! He's just taking control of the round all on his own. One man left standing, Sacy versus the world. The first kill will go his way. And even going to try and switch up to the... Oh, he gets the next one! It takes Jamppi closing him out to get them their 12th, but that was a damn nice try.
That was beautiful, man. That spam on point. But Jamppi, he read that so well. On the first peek on... Well, I mean, this one was... That was just sickening. The second kill he got on the stairs, the swing out, timing on point with his teammate swinging backside. Then he knows FRZ's about to peek out. His teammate's in the alleyway. He's just fired an op shot. Jamppi's an opper. He has that in his head. Okay, he's cocking it back. He's ADSing and he's stepping. Bang. Headshot pre-fire comes in. Then closing it out, peeking with his teammate, or as soon as his teammate dies, rather. Everything about that was beautiful to watch. A 4K for Jamppi, a 12th round for Liquid, and what could be the closer. They just need one more. Vikings do at least open this up, but look at the damage to sutecas and GTN. They're both so low.
Unfortunately, on the other side, they don't have any opportunity to heal. The Hunter's Fury, guaranteed one at least. They're not quite going to come through, and this is what we expect a little bit more from Vikings. The team that, as said, absolutely loves to battle for map control. Normally even see them, for example, in the X10 series, pushing all the way up the top of mid and gloves off to try and fight some of those players. They've got that control this time, and this leaves Liquid in a bit of an awkward spot. Interestingly, even with this much control, though, they're still only going to leave one defender of this A site. And unless, of course, they pushed all the way through to the spawn, there's no actual way they could have rotated any other direction.
Now, Liquid gonna make a couple of steps in towards the spawn, probably just in case the player would come back out of mid and started to, you know, get a little bit of an ear on what they're doing. But it'll be slow, very slow movement to A. Are they just saving now? With 20 seconds left, I highly doubt they're gonna make this push. Probably for the best, but at 12-7, considering the lead, I wasn't expecting it, although I will applaud it. Definitely the right call. Vikings, though, might want to take these weapons out of their hands, and you can see they absolutely do. Barreling forward, Screams caught in a corner, and there's going to be time for them to get all the way up if they want to. But no, they'll just back off.
Making me feel uneasy that Link's even looking to pick that angle. I guess with 3 weapons, there's always that like extra chance of getting a 4x for the rest of the team. With the 2, less likely at least. Again, I feel like a lot of the rounds that are being started for this Viking side, it's actually sutecas making a lot of the moves. The man with the majority of the utility for this side, it still seems to be the aggressor, especially over towards A. Now, I feel like for Liquid, it's not too much of a problem. They've got the operator in, the finances look decent, and they're even going to go for the boost up. FRZ, it's a risky game, but he now knows that there is an operator in play. Probably not going to go for that same face once again.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine so. It pushes them out of that map control that they evidently wanted. The Killjoy utility destroyed in towards middle, puts even more pressure on Vikings to play that info game. GTN, he's going to come back and plug up the hole, because obviously those guys, they can come towards spawn now. Although with that smoke going down, it should indicate that, you know, they've left the control or they're looking to split through pizza. The same Killjoy setup we've seen many times on the defensive side covers off for that push. Even despite that, 3 players towards B. You know, this exact same setup, we saw Liquid play A heavy, and Vikings might just wish that they did, because all they have to defend this is quite a passive jet, because you're worried about short and can push up based on the op seen earlier, and an Astra on the back side. 1 star, and up against this composition, I think Liquid can very much still breach through and look to take that site. The rotates come in though. Vikings now with 4 players here. The TP onto site, we'll see it's clear, and you're only really worried about Heaven with sutecas dropped below. That is a real kick in the delicates. The site now completely Liquids, and they get the kills for it.
Yeah, that's a problem, especially considering his position. I feel like he had to get the kill on Link there. We're going to see the dimensional drift used, trying to clear out some of those spots and maybe give them a reposition to actually retake from another angle. It will give another spot, but it doesn't matter. soulcas has already found another with the shock dart. They've also got the denial of the push back in. The nano swarm going to hold them back even further, and this map is looking done. Liquid, they have taken their opponent's choice, a map that they feel comfortable on themselves, and Vikings, they're going to have to try and swing this back in map number 2 even.
That's a tough one to lose. You know, we come on to Haven. This is the map Liquid wanted to play, although I doubt they were all too upset about the first map being Ascent. At this point, well, Vikings have got to go back to the drawing board on that. We've seen the first Yoru come out here in Masters, and maybe the last, based on how it played out.
That's the thing. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for that agent to be played. I just think a lot of this came down to them almost using it as if